Tracy McCarter's story highlights the criminalization of domestic violence survivors.
It's almost like telling her that she had no right to protect herself. It was almost as if they were telling her you had to go through this situation and you had to continue to go through this situation without fighting back.
Women too often find themselves in the crosshairs of the U.S. criminal legal system after claiming to have acted in self-defense against domestic and sexual abusers. Tracy McCarter, a mother, grandmother, and nurse, is now navigating this legal minefield.
It's pretty disgusting of the Manhattan DA's office to continue to prosecute her for this situation, especially when they've publicly now voiced that they don't believe that what's happened, in fact, is murder. And it just feels like a really bad nightmare.
In March 2020, McCarter killed her estranged and allegedly abusive husband, James Murray, in what she says was self-defense after he physically assaulted her while drunk. McCarter was arrested and spent 6 months in jail at Rikers Island waiting for her case to be brought before a grand jury. She was ultimately charged with second-degree murder.
They've been denying that she is a survivor of domestic violence just in her relationship at all. To deny a survivor of what they've experienced, to deny somebody that they're telling the truth, it's further traumatization, honestly.
She isn't the first victim to, go through this, and she won't be the last. I really truly believe that her story will give a lot of women who's going through this the strength to walk away, the strength to maybe call the police when it first happens.
There is no accredited agency specifically tracking statistics about women prosecuted for these crimes, and factoring in race complicates the research even further. According to an Urban Institute analysis of national FBI homicide data, which was commissioned by MSNBC in 2014, Black women were only found to be justified in killing a white man. Justified meaning the deadly force was determined to be appropriate and no charges were filed, in only 2.9% of cases between 2005 and 2010. During his campaign for Manhattan District Attorney in 2020, then-candidate Alvin Bragg seemed to empathize with McCarter's case. Since being elected, Bragg has proposed a plea deal, requesting that McCarter enter a plea on the lesser charges of manslaughter and menacing. However, that was rejected by acting New York State Supreme Court Justice Dianne Kessel. About 2 months later, Bragg attempted to reduce McCarter's indictment from second-degree murder to manslaughter, and that was rejected by Justice Kessel as well. Advocates for McCarter maintain that Bragg has the power to outright dismiss the charges against her, and they delivered a petition signed by more than 21,000 supporters to his office.
Of course, it would be great if a jury finds her not guilty of this charge because she's not guilty. That would be great, but it would be even better if the DA's office would really step up and DA Bragg would do what he said he would do. He said he would drop the charges, and so that is what we expected to happen. It is unfortunate that he has not chosen to do that and that they are moving forward with a trial.
After being released from Rikers in September 2020, McCarter was ordered to home confinement and electronic monitoring. Reportedly, even after the electronic ankle monitor was removed in September 2022, McCarter has still not been allowed to leave the state of New York. Over the past few years, she has been unable to work and has missed major family milestones.
She was actually incarcerated at Rikers when she became a first-time grandmother and was not able to be present for the birth of her first grandchild, my sister's daughter, and then I am now a new mother, and she was not able to be present for the birth of my child as well. My mother has not been able to work since this all happened. She's applied for several jobs, but when you apply for a job, when you have pending prosecution, that shows up in the background report. And so she has not been able to fund her own living expenses and that sort of thing. And that's been a really heavy burden on her as an independent individual.
As McCarter's family advocates for her freedom, civil rights nonprofit Color of Change has provided them with resources and amplified their voices to help spread McCarter's story.
Without working with Color of Change, I don't think that, the exposure that her case has gotten would be as great or as grand as it is.
It felt like we were running out of options and sort of running out of steam, and having the Color of Change come on board as advocates and being willing to really pour their resources into supporting her has meant so much to us.
And the family wants people to know that their support can make a big difference.
I don't know if she would have remained so strong without all the support and, the love that she's getting. Sending messages, words of encouragement, just something as simple as sharing this video. Not only sharing the video, attaching a little message to say, hey, you're not alone.